All right, we're going to get started. So for today's class, we are going to stay pretty grounded, which is why I have this camera angle. Socks optional. If it happens to be cold where you are, maybe you leave them on for a little bit, but you'll get more traction without them. So go ahead and find your way onto your mat. You're going to come into a kneeling position, and if this is not comfortable for you, you can grab a pillow or a blanket or yoga blocks to get right in between your feet, just so you're propped up a little bit more. So already, if you have tight quads, you might be feeling some tightness through here, through where the quad connects to the knee. You're going to turn your palms face up, close the eyes, and just start a nice deep breath in and out through the nose. Take a breath in. And if you need it, really exhale out the mouth. See if you can work on building the breath bigger and bigger in the chest. Inhale, feel the chest really fill up. And then exhale, let it go. And I want you to keep the breath there in the chest for a moment. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more breath in. And exhale. Good. Now I want you to think about bringing the breath into the belly. Inhale, fill the belly up. Exhale, let it go. Just a couple more like that. Inhale, fill it all the way to the belly. Exhale. Last breath in. And exhale, let it go. Awesome. Come on to hands and knees, right into tabletop position. So knees underneath the hips, wrists under the shoulders. You're going to drop the belly down, lift the face forward, tailbone up, and then exhale, round. Today we're going to have a big focus on the quads especially and the feet. So selfishly, 2 things I really need today, but if you've been pretty active, running, walking, hiking, cycling, those are 2 things that probably also need some love. In the first few breaths here, always I have a few big yawns I need to get out. Continue to move through this cat and cow, syncing the movement to your breath and seeing if you can make the movement bigger with each repetition. And like class has been for the past couple of weeks, we're going to keep things pretty dynamic. So not holding anything for too long, but if stillness feels good and you want to settle into a specific pose and breathe there, then you do that. I'll let you know when those times come. Next time you are moving into your cat pose, stop at a flat back. Look over the right shoulder, stick the right hip out to the side, and then inhale, come center. Exhale, go the other way. So do your best to keep a nice flat back here. We're just getting a lateral movement. Strong core supporting you. Supporting that low back especially. A few more here, just getting maybe 1 more on the right and 1 more on the left. And then come back through center. The hands are going to move slightly forward, maybe 6 inches. Tuck the toes and come up into your downward facing dog. We're not going to do a full salutation today. What we're going to do is rock forward to plank. So go ahead and do that now. Take a deep breath in here. And then on your exhale, drop your knees, chest, and chin down to the earth. So your butt is still up. Inhale, come forward to cobra. And if it doesn't feel good to be up high, baby cobra down here. And then press through the hands, come back to tabletop. And first child's pose. Good. Inhale, come back to tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, so just to talk you through it one more time, stay right here, maybe bend one knee, bend the other, walk it out. We go to plank, we go to cobra, then we go up to tabletop, child's pose, tabletop, downward facing dog. We're gonna sync this up with our breath. On an inhale, come out, high plank. On an exhale, drop knees, chest, chin to the earth. Inhale, come forward, cobra. Exhale, go back, child's pose. Inhale, come forward, tabletop. Exhale, tuck the toes, downward dog. You got it. Now inhale again, high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come up through tabletop, strong core, tuck the toes, downward dog. Twice more, flow through it. Inhale, out. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Elbows hug the ribs. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Again, we go forward. Inhale. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. All right, spread the fingers wide. Press down through the fingertips, the palm of the hand, the thumb, the pinky, everything, pressing down. And as you do that, see if you can move your chest back towards your thighs a bit more. If your hamstrings are super tight, you will benefit from having a light bend in the knees. Heels still going down towards the ground. Head relaxed, look at the back edge of your mat. Building some heat through the shoulders already, I know. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Bring the feet together and lift the right leg up. Not very far, toe will be facing down, heel will be facing up. Take another breath in. And then on your exhale, start to turn those right toes to the right, opening up the hip just slightly. We're not going too far. Take another breath in. See if you can lift that leg a little bit higher. And then step that foot between your hands, runner's lunge. Good. Come up on your fingertips. Give yourself some height. Knee over ankle. Eyes forward at the front edge of your mat so your neck is long. Shoulders back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Drop the back knee down, untuck the toes, and let's hang out here. A slight rock forward and back. So inhale here. Exhale. Now inhale, rock back just an inch or so. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, go back. Exhale, forward. See if you can move your hips together. So notice if your left hip seems to be leading the stretch. Maybe you can come down a little bit more, maybe on flat hands now. But stay on fingertips if you think you need the space. Don't want that back to collapse. Take a couple more. The number of repetitions is not important here. This isn't really a strengthening exercise. This is just to open us up through the hip, the glute. I mean, I feel it in a lot of places. Maybe you do too. Stay here, stay forward. Left hand down, right arm up, twist it open. Breathe in. Breathe out. Press down through that left hand so you're really opening up through the shoulder, lifting out of the shoulder. Allow yourself to twist at the ribs, eyes on the sky. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, hand down. Walk the hands back, find your hamstring stretch. Toes come forward, or toes come towards you. And same thing, the hips are moving back in one plane. So if you need to, you might have to come forward a bit. We don't want that left hip leading the stretch. Not too far anyways. So as I say that, see if you can move the right hip back in space in line with the left hip. Take one more breath in. And then exhale, come forward. All right. Next time we come to this, we're doing world's greatest stretch, which I know some of you are familiar with, but first I wanted us to spend some time opening this up. Take a breath in, lift the back knee off the earth, step back, downward facing dog. We're going to do the same thing on the left side. Lift the left leg up, toes down, heels up, fingers are spread wide, press down into the mat. And then go ahead, turn nose, left toes to the left. You've got that gentle opening through the hip. Now remember, the leg does not have to go very high to feel it and to get the benefits. Take another breath in. Exhale. Look forward, step forward. Runner's lunge. All right, take a moment here up high. Always that initial shock, right? Balancing on the ball of the back foot. You're on your fingertips. Look at the front edge of your mat, create that length. And then go ahead, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. If you can, come a little bit lower on the hands. Take a breath in. Exhale. And just like the other side, the inhale will bring us back slightly. Exhale, we come forward. That knee shouldn't be going over the toes. Maybe just to the tip of the toes, but no further. And if it is, walk that foot forward. Just an inch or two back, an inch or two forward. Oh man, I'm still feeling a trail run from 2 days ago. I feel it in my glutes. I definitely feel it in my quads, which is why we're going to have a little bit of a quad focus later. Take another breath in. Exhale, come forward. Plant that right hand flat. Lift the left arm up, opening into that twist. So you press down into the earth to lift up. The more you press down, the more you should be able to lift out of that right shoulder. Eyes on sky, palm up. Reaching up, 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 up. See if you can twist a bit more from the middle of your back. Take another breath in. And then exhale, hand comes down. Start to walk it back, find that hamstring stretch. So you'll notice I still have a slight bend in my knee here. My right hip wants to go back more than my left hip wants to go back, but I'm going to try my best to keep them in the same plane. One isn't getting ahead of the other. Sinking those hips back, back, back. Take another breath in. On your exhale, come forward. On fingertips, flat hands, whatever you need to do, tuck the back toes and lift that knee off of the earth. This time we're going to step back to a high plank. So ground those hands, step back. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Knees, chest, chin to the earth, lower down. Take a big breath in. Cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, come up, tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. As promised, world's greatest stretch. If you don't know what it is, listen first. You're going to step the right foot forward and lift the right arm up into that twist. And then we go back to downward facing dog and we do the other side. Go ahead, step that right foot forward. Lift right arm up, breathe in. Exhale, hand down. Downward facing dog. Left side, left foot steps forward. Step it outside of that hand. Get a little bit wider in our stance. And back. Move through this on your own. Again, reps are not important. What we're doing is we are syncing the movement up with our breath. And we'll all finish with an even number. But I don't want you to rush it. I also don't want you to go too painfully slow. This should feel good in your body. And if it doesn't, make those adjustments. Slower. Maybe the knee has to drop for you to get that good twist. Breathe. Don't hold your breath. You're going to get one more on the right and one more on the left. We meet in downward facing dog when you are done. Take your time. When you get to down dog, you have a couple options. You can pedal it out, stretch those hamstrings and calves a bit more, or rest in child's pose. We'll be here a few breaths, just to make sure everyone is caught up. If you're in down dog, try to create some space in your low back by lifting the tail going up a little bit higher. Pressing down through those hands a bit firmer. If you are resting in child's pose, make your way back to downward facing dog. If you need that rest, take it. But if you're ready to move along, come with me. That right leg is going to step forward outside the right hand, just like we did. And then drop the back knee. Untuck the toes. So we're in the lizard lunge here. I'm going to pivot just slightly. What you're going to do is turn the right toes out to 1 or 2 o'clock on the clock face. The hands are right under the shoulders. That left leg extended straight from the hip, so it should be lined up with the edge of your mat. All right, and some of you are more flexible than me, than each other, but there are options here. If you have a yoga block, you can bring your forearms down to the block. If the ground is accessible for you, you can bring those forearms down to the ground. For me, that left forearm is really accessible. The right is a stretch. So what I'm going to do is just breathe here for a few breaths. See about sinking my hips a little bit lower so the ground is not as far away. Keep that right foot grounded. So if you notice the inside of the foot is starting to lift, that's okay, but I want the outside edge of the foot to be really grounded still. So you can roll onto that edge, but make sure it's grounded from the pinky toe to the heel just to protect everything that's going on here. Breath in, breath out. Good. And for those of you who like this static stretch and you want to hang out here a bit more, you can. For those of you who are like, oh my goodness, get me out of this, you're going to keep that left hand grounded, right hand atop the right thigh, just above the knee, a little rock back and forth. So similar to our runner's lunge, but you've got a different angle here. Knee still going towards the toes. See if you can ground down through that arm and see if you can turn your chest a bit towards the right, open towards the legs. So the chest is open. If you feel anything in your back or your knees don't feel so great here, don't do it. It's as simple as that. You can also just pad your knee a bit, depending on what's uncomfortable. Pain and discomfort, slightly different, but still not comfortable, right? So I want you to not push it, especially if you have some kind of race or event coming up where your body is, our bodies are always important, but injury is something you want to avoid. You're going to walk that right foot towards center. So now your hands frame the outside of your foot. You are going to tuck the back toes, lift that back knee. Oh man. Step back, high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. Every time I hit child's pose, I just think, let's stay here a little bit longer. We will stay there longer. Next time around, step that left foot outside of your left hand now. Good, so you're in that lizard, drop the back knee, untuck the toes. I didn't say it on the other side, but there's also a level up, I guess, up, forward, where you can keep that back knee lifted and still get forearms on the ground. So, there's ways to build off of this. If you start to get too comfy, if you're anything like me, comfort is a distant concept in this pose. Go ahead, maybe drop to the forearms, maybe one forearm. Keep the face relaxed, sinking into the hips. Breathe in, breathe out. Keeping that right leg extended from the hip. Everything in a line, so if you look back, you shouldn't be able to see your foot. All right, again, if you are comfortable in the static stretch, stay there. If you're coming for that dynamic motion, right hand down, left hand just above the knee. A little rock back and forth. So as you go back, the right hip is going back towards the right foot. As you come forward, the left knee is going towards the left toes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Just a couple inches in each direction. Maybe turning the chest towards the left just a bit. Okay, and if you're like me, locking that elbow, try to have a soft bend in the right elbow. There are a few things I know that I always do. Clenching of the jaw. Got that from my mom. Clenching of the toes. And locking the knees or elbows. All right, go ahead, walk that foot back to center. Tuck the back toes, lift the knee. High plank. Take a breath here and lower down. Knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. And I promised it, child's pose. Let's hang out. Let's set this up knowing we're going to stay a while. Big toes touch. Knees as wide as your mat. Arms go forward, forehead down. Let the forearms rest. Few breaths. Another breath in. Exhale, let it go. Start to make your way back up to a seated position. Knees together, hands on thighs. Okay. We're going to do a couple more things facing this way, and then we get into a long quad and twist series to wind us down. So hands come forward, tabletop position. You're gonna extend the left foot. So knee and hip in a line with this right leg, left foot back. We're just gonna rock it forward and back. Getting a little bit of a foot stretch, calf stretch. All right, and the key here is support your low back by engaging your core. So the simplest way to explain it is pulling the belly button to the sky, but I know a lot of us hate that. Hate that cue. I hate that cue. So think about bracing your core like someone's about to punch you in the stomach. Also not the best, but a little, you get it, right? That's going to help support your low back, especially if you're someone who is sitting a lot of the day or did the deadly run straight to your desk situation, or if you did a little run break at lunch and sat down at your desk. It can happen. Happens to all of us. Hold that pose. Stretch that heel back. Good. Now ease up. Untuck the toes so that the top of the foot is on the ground. You're going to bend the knee and then extend. So just like a little gentle stretch. Might even get a little glute exercise at the top. Really squeeze the glute at the top to lock that knee out. But the goal here is pressing the top of the foot down into the mat, especially out by the toes. Get a little stretch to the top of the foot. Next time, hold it. Press down. And release. Good. If you need a little break on the wrist, sit back, roll it out, shake it out. Shake is my favorite. Hands back. Right leg extends. Support yourself. So knee under hip. Hip in line. Yeah. Core brace, ready for that punch. And then start your rock. Your hands can be just ahead of your shoulders. I feel like that helps me have a little bit more leverage. Whew. Core engaged, hips moving as one unit. Keep the neck neutral. You don't need to look back at your foot. Maybe you look just ahead of the fingers. Keep the neck long. Next time you're back, hold it. A nice static stretch. Inhale, exhale. Good. And then you are going to bring it forward. Come on the top of that foot. Drop the knee down and stretch. Good. Drop it down and stretch. Squeezing the glute at the top maybe, but more important, pressing down through that foot, especially up by the toes. Good. Just a few more breaths. Already can't wait for that quad sequence. Last one. Hold. Good. Breathe here. Press down, down, down. Get that stretch to the top of the foot. And then release. Awesome job. Sit back, roll those wrists. Maybe a little shoulder stretch, a little cat-cow with the upper back, whatever you need here before we get into the quad stretch. So I want to just have you come to tabletop. If you feel like you need a couple of salutations or something just for, mental clarity or just to reset yourself, go for it. We're going to get into a quad stretch and we're going to take our time so you have time. Step that right foot forward. Frame the front foot. Now, many of us are going to need to come up here. You're going to be on this knee for a bit, so if you need to, you can, little pro trick, fold the mat over. You've got a nice little cushion. Reach back with the left hand, catch this left foot. And now adjust as needed. If you're close to a wall, try not to use it, because once you touch it, you're always going to have to touch it. Shoulders back. Good. So try not to let this left shoulder pull back, pull forward. So this is step one. Step two would be to switch hands or grab both for now, but we're going to go lower eventually. See if you can keep your glutes activated to help stabilize you. Eyes on the front of the mat. If you want to go to the next bus stop, I like to say, you're going to hold on with the right hand and left hand is going to come down to frame or in line with that right foot. Trying to keep that hip, knee, and ankle all in a line on that left leg. Right knee over right ankle. Right, and then you can invite a little bit of a twist. Maybe the right hand goes onto the pinky edge side of that left foot. Right shoulder starts to open. You can turn your head up to the sky. All right, wherever you are, you're breathing. This is one of those times where we are in a static stretch, so you need to use your breath to create some distraction or to bring some ease to the pose. Breathe in. Exhale out your mouth if you need it. See if you can use a little bit of arm strength and bend into that right knee to intensify the stretch through the quads. If there's a sensation somewhere else in your body that is taking over, you really can't even feel or focus on that left quad stretch, then I want you to try to bring ease to those other areas. We are going to do a more passive quad stretch on the ground where your quad will literally be the only thing stretching. One more breath. Now the real key here is not to let that foot go and let it fly. I want you to try to come out of this the way you came in. So we all come back to base, unless you're going to fall over, but use your glutes, use your core. Slowly releasing the foot. Yeah. Bring the hands down. And bring that leg back. Okay, before we go into the other side, just a few hip circles here in one direction, and then a few in the other. Whoo, okay. Same thing, other side. Left leg forward. I just really needed to haul it forward. Left leg forward, and then we're gonna come up. Same thing, do what you need to do. This pad, for me, felt really great. I loved it. You're going to reach back with the right hand, catch that right foot. Now, because you don't have like a counterbalance happening here, you're grabbing right with right. Just need to engage the glutes, engage the core. And we build on this the same way we did the other side. So reach back with the opposite hand. Keep that heel in line with the hip. It's easy to pull that knee, roll that foot over to the left, but we want to keep it in line. Keep things lined up. Good, and then you'll hold on with the left arm. Right hand maybe comes to the earth. Only go as far as your body is allowing today. Keep that ankle in line with the hip, in line with the knee. You'll know because you'll feel it. And then maybe start to open the shoulder, open the chest towards the left. Ooh, breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Wherever you are, make your neck longer. Make your breath deeper. One more deep breath in. See if you can bend a bit deeper into that knee. Okay, so I lied. One more breath in. Feels too good. Exhale. Start to ease your way up. Engage the core, engage the glutes. Coming out the same way we came in. And hands to the ground. Back to tabletop. a few circles with that hip. Nice. Awesome grounded practice today. Okay. Good news is we're coming onto our bellies. Maybe tough news is we're staying in our quads. So elbows right underneath the shoulders, hands forward. This is not so important yet, but just getting a little Sphinx pose. We're going to talk you through what's going to happen this next one. We are going to stretch the left leg first. So the right hand turns to the left. Sorry, microphone's. Elbows to the right. You're going to reach back for that foot, grab onto the outside. Now turn the left shoulder down. And you don't need to stay super propped out of that right shoulder because we're going to get lower. Try to let this right leg relax. And look back, make sure that your knee is in line with your hip. Mine was just out to the left of it. You're going to slide this right arm forward. Drop your forehead onto your forearm. Now use your arm strength. Pull that foot towards your glute. This is your more passive stretch. See if you can relax your upper body, except for your left arm. Don't relax your left arm. Pull, pull, pull. If you feel like you need more, you can put your forehead on the ground. Reach that right arm around. Give yourself a little extra muscle. Knee stays in line with hip. No discomfort in the knee. If there is some, you back off, right? Release that foot, gentle. Come back up to Sphinx pose. Other side. The left arm is going to turn, so left fingertips towards the right. Reach back with that right foot. And go ahead, do that check, look back, make sure the knee is in line with the hip. And then when you're ready, everyone's like, just get me there. Forehead down. Use the strength of the right arm, pull that foot towards your butt. It helps think of knees together. Then you know that your knee is in line with your hip. And if you need extra, left arm can come in. Try to let the hips weigh heavy into the ground. And then slowly release that foot. Arms come forward to Sphinx. We're going to do a little twist down here. So, let me think about it. We want to do a little scorpion. If you know what that is, go for it. Left arm is going to go out to the left. You're going to prop your right fingertips in front of your face. So turn your head to the right. That's important. And then right toes point up to the sky. And start to roll onto your left hip. And plant your right foot on the ground behind you. So you're getting a stretch through the shoulder. I'm getting a big stretch to the shoulder. Extended straight out like a T. So not lower than the shoulder, not higher than the shoulder. Try to keep it in line. I can't see myself now on the camera, but either way, it's intense. If you need to go look at your arm, look at your arm. Right knee going up towards the sky. And then these right fingers are really just for little security blanket. Just holding you up. Little kickstand. Like a bike kickstand, yeah? Take a deep breath in. Exhale, start to come back. And then the other side. Right arm will go straight out from the shoulder. Left fingertips. Face faces the left. Toe up. And then come on over. All right, and this brings us to the end of our practice. Like always, I invite you to rest in whatever position feels right, but definitely rest. I'm going to roll us over and get us onto our backs, and then you'll have some options that include Shavasana, which is just like corpse pose. You can do Supta Baddha Konasana, which is butterfly but laying down. You can put your legs up a wall. You could stay in child's pose if you liked that, if that felt good today. Just somewhere where you could rest for a minute or so. Roll back onto your belly. Bring the hands right by the shoulders. Press into the ground. Tabletop. And just swing your legs around. Before we lay back, let's just get one last little hamstring stretch. See if you can move some of that butt out of the way. Arms to the sky, legs to feet. Exhale, gentle fold. I'm feeling a little bit tight through my back, so I'm going to ease into this. Hands start just below my knees. Take a few exhales. Inhales too. But on the exhale, walk the hands forward just a bit. So the live stream will end, but you are welcome to rest in whatever position you chose for as long as you need it. I recommend, there's no one I recommend, but what I recommend doing after is rolling into the fetal position just for a moment, that kind of reset button, and then slowly walking yourself up to a seated position before you just jump off your mat. Last thing I wanted you to just be like laying down, relaxing, and then just jump up. Ease yourself up. I can't imagine you would want to do that, but you know, there's something could happen, you can hear noise, bang. Just ease yourself up. Ease yourself out. Come on up. Reach the arms to the sky, take a deep breath in. And then exhale. Make your way onto your back. So if Supta Baddha Konasana was one you wanted to try, it's feet together, knees out to the side. That's your butterfly pose. Legs up a wall. You want to get as close to the wall as you can, sideways. Butt touches, and then legs go up. Yeah? Oh, this is nice. I might stay here. Corpse pose. Legs are extended on the ground. And your arms are by your sides. If you feel like you need to continue to connect with your breath and you feel like you need to turn inwards before you go back into whatever you were doing before this, before you go back to life outside of your yoga mat, maybe hands are on the belly so you can feel that breath rise and fall. I find this really meditative. Eyes are closed. If you have a t-shirt or a sweatshirt by you, you could drape it over your eyes to create a little bit more darkness. And after a big exhale out the mouth, seal the lips and continue to breathe through your nose. And like I said, I'm going to leave you here for as long as you need. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you soon.